Hi! So in my last video, I alluded to offering up total transparency personally, and maybe it's because of some of the life experiences I've had, I don't fucking know. I see almost like a trend of people coming onto a platform, and it doesn't really even necessarily matter what platform that is exactly, but YouTube seems to be one of the biggest, at least in terms of things like what I'm about to talk about. All of these, like, you know, exposed videos and people coming out with information about other people that they were trying to hide or lie about or what the fuck ever. I've always found it fascinating almost why most people will choose to either lie, cover it up completely, or just blatantly pretend like whatever has happened never happened. And I just don't get that. I don't know. As if it won't be found out eventually. It would just make life so much fucking easier if people would just kind of come the fuck out like...
So, I fucked up a lot. Let me tell you about it.
But, I guess that's not really trendy right now. I don't know. Being exposed almost seems to be something that, like, people are trying to do and wanting to happen for more exposure. I get any publicity is good publicity. But then again, it's not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the fucking weird one. I don't know. If so, let me know. So, I'm going to basically sum up the last couple years of my life and include events that I think A, are factual, B, were very pivotal for me, and C, might help you understand me better and maybe my thought processes, etc. So, as far as being exposed or whatever, I'm sorry if I took the fun out of it for you. I don't see a point in hiding large parts of my life that have put me where I am today as the person I am today. I feel like it's almost necessary to include those and explain them, especially if somebody else were to stumble upon them, to already have your word out there. I feel like that would be almost the best thing you could do in terms of being exposed or what the fuck ever. The word exposed does not even match its fucking definition anymore, I swear to God. Same with satire. Now, like, if anybody gets offended, it's automatically satire. I don't get that. Like, anyway. So I'm going to basically just sum up the past couple of years of my life. I'm going to have to leave out names and some personal details for obvious reasons, but I'm going to try and admit as much as I can to be fucking real with you. I mean, I don't really see a point in hiding anything. It was part of who I am. It's not who I am now, but it was part of who I was, you know, not very long ago. Now it seems like a lifetime ago, but of course it hasn't been. This video is unscripted. No, that does not mean unedited. So it might kind of be all over the place, not really as coordinated and organized as some of my past videos, but just fucking bear with me if you even give a fuck. I'm 23 now. I'm going to be 24 next month. Like I already said in my On Your Own from 18 video, I lost my mom when I was 18. Immediately afterwards, I'm talking weeks, I was introduced to a guy, and we pretty much fell in love immediately. And a lot of family things had happened, obviously. Like I said, we lost the farm, lost everything, and I kind of moved in with this guy. And he, in a lot of ways, he saved my life, and I will forever be grateful to him for that. But that doesn't change the fact of what got the ball rolling in terms of these events. So, long story short, we ended up kind of going down a bad road together. We ended up using together. At the time, I was told it was something else. Obviously, I came to find out about 2 months afterwards that the drug that we had been doing was heroin. And that was a really big deal for me, obviously. But you know, at the time I had nothing, I wanted nothing, and I wanted to feel nothing and to be nothing. And that's kind of how I felt, so that's how I embodied myself, and that's how I lived. You know, I don't really see any point in making this sappy or sympathetic or,
oh, feel bad for me, or excuse the shitty shit I've done because I'm not a shitty fuck.
But at the time I was a shitty fuck. And I was a junkie, and I was overall kind of like a worthless human being. I contributed nothing to society, nothing to anybody around me, except for heartbreak, pain, grief, lies, etc. So I found out it was heroin, and I also found out simultaneously that I was physically dependent on it after pretty much saying fuck you, fuck this, and fuck me, right? So I pretty much was kind of in this state of, well, I guess who fucking cares at this point? Not me. So I continued afterwards. So it's not like the responsibility can be placed solely on his shoulders, because once I knew, I still went along with it. But anyway, we used for about 2 years. We were IV users at the end, and pretty much overdosing, being arrested, being put in jail multiple times, being sick in jail, detoxing, losing everything I had. I got pulled over, arrested, my car got impounded. That was the last thing my mom had bought me before she died, was my car. And I lost that forever, along with literally everything else. We either pawned it, sold it, or traded it for dope. Towards the end of the 2 years, he ended up getting arrested. We were still living together at the time, obviously. We had been together this whole time. He ended up getting arrested for counterfeit forgery from the job that he was at. He was writing out fake checks so we could cash them and buy our dope. Getting caught, getting in trouble, getting arrested, almost going to prison. I ended up getting arrested, but they let me go because I personally didn't have anything to do physically with that. So yeah, you know, the typical whole junkie lifestyle, lying, stealing, cheating, literally anything shitty and underhanded and manipulative and conniving that you can think of. We did it and did it again and again and again. Upon him getting arrested, it was 2014, in the winter of 2013 coming into 2014. He got arrested, taken to jail. I got arrested, like I said, let go. After I was questioned, whatever. The only way that he was granted to not immediately be sent to prison was if he entered a rehab program. So after speaking with him, I immediately went into a detox facility close to where I live. I had left and come back 3 different times within a week. And the third time I came back, you know, when you go into detox, you have a whole bunch of tests and stuff like that that they run on you. One of them is a pregnancy test. I found out that I was pregnant, and at the time, I didn't really know how I felt at the time, honestly. I felt a lot of things, but in the grand scheme of things, my child saved my life. He is the only reason that I am here, and you can judge me, you can hate me, you can leave your hate comments.
Junkie, whore, nasty, fucking bitch.
Whatever, I mean, like I haven't heard it, like I haven't probably called myself that at some point in time. But like I said, when I told you I'm going to offer complete transparency, that's what I'm going to do. And if you're not okay with some of it, I understand that. Looking back, I was not okay with almost everything that I had done at that period in my lifetime, same as almost everyone around me. But like I said, it was a part of who I was. It shaped who I am today. And I feel like it's necessary to tell you that, and to kind of take all the fun out of being exposed, because it's kind of hard to pull the rug out from somebody when there's no rug. So after finding out that I was pregnant with my son, they got me a bed in a rehab facility. I stayed. I never left. I graduated. I was just under 90 days, actually. And as much as I hated it at first, I know I would also not be here if it was not for that facility. So if anybody who knows the facility I'm talking about, who was either there with me or helped me through it, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You saved my life, and I wouldn't be here without you. So thank you for putting up with my shit. So yeah, I graduated rehab. After graduating rehab, I immediately, moved in with a family, and I was on probation this whole time. That was kind of my get out of jail free card. Literally, it was either that or jail. So of course I took probation. It was intense adult probation. They were not fucking around, and I'm glad that they weren't, because it allowed me no space to fuck it up, to be in my own head, you know what I mean? I, went through all the AA, NA programs, whatever. Personally, AA and NA didn't really turn out to be really the staple in my recovery. That doesn't mean that it's not yours by any means whatsoever. That's like a whole other video. But, I know I've left a lot out. I'm sure this is kind of like all over the fucking place. That's a large part of my life, and even though I just condensed it down into a very short amount of time, I feel like you need to know it. You deserve to know it, and I should obviously be the one to tell you, not some fucking Tom, Dick, or Harry on the internet. Obviously, I don't feel like you know, if you have dirty laundry, that you are obliged to air it to the entire fucking world. It's just my personal opinion. It's what I have chosen to do since I kind of turned my life around. I've always been really forthcoming about that. I don't see a need to be shameful and to hide something that without it I wouldn't be where I am today. It was the worst time of my life. I was shot at, friends went to prison, over 10 of my friends overdosed and died. A lot happened in that time, and that's not really like all that I'm going to get into in this video. I just kind of wanted to sum up basically one of the biggest turning points in my life. You know, I'm not trying to garner sympathy or attention or anything. I just always want to be honest with you. And if it were the other way around, I would want to know. You know, not in a judgmental fashion, but just I would want to know. So I feel like you would probably want to know. And again, I would rather you be told from the source who was there than some random fucking person or article or what the fuck ever on the internet. If there's anything in particular that I spoke about in this video that you personally want to know about, you can leave me a comment and I can make a video about it, explaining it, or just sharing with you. I mean, what the fuck ever. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, you know, I'm fucking open to the world, quite literally, since you've watched this video and it is on the fucking internet now.
You're a fucking idiot.
I should say goodbye to all the sponsors I'll never have now. Bye. I plan on making videos regarding some of the topics I spoke about in this more in depth. I just felt like it'd be necessary to get this out of the way now, you know, instead of fuck only knows who, fuck only knows what, from who fucking knows what source. So if you look at me differently now, I mean, I want to say I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm not, because it's what shaped me. It's part of who I am. So if I let you down in some way, I am sorry for that. I let myself down in a lot of aspects then, but now, which is kind of insane to say, it was a couple years ago at this point, which doesn't seem very long, but to me it's like a lifetime. I finally jumped through all the legal hoops. I mean, everything. I finally have been back on my own 2 feet for a while now, and I feel like I have a good enough grasp on everything that I've been through and everything that I've done and seen to be able to share it in some kind of meaningful, maybe to somebody helpful way. I will always have scars on my veins. I actually even have a piece of metal that broke off that will probably never come out, but I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I'm not ashamed of the scars. I used to be for a long time. I would never wear like tank tops and shit just because I was self-conscious of them, always having track marks up your arms and then having the scars months and months and months after that you've already recovered. And it was almost kind of like a badge of like dishonor for a while, but now it doesn't bother me, and I can say that and actually know that I believe it. So that's kind of crazy, but I guess really just kind of the end point is no matter where you started or where you go, where you end up can be on the complete other fucking side. It wasn't easy. It was the hardest thing, the second hardest thing I've ever had to go through in my life, but out of it came my son and my life that I have now. And all of you that are sitting there watching this, I'll be putting out a lot more frequent videos from now on. I just kind of wanted to get this out of the way. So like I said, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, or if you want to tell me I'm
a shitty, junkie, whore, fucking slutty bitch cunt face,
that's totally fine. I don't delete comments. So yeah, I hope you're having a really good day or night or what the fuck ever, wherever you're at, and your vibe attracts your tribe. Bye.